Hey everybody, welcome back. You're watching The Sentinel and I'm Pep. Today I'm going to do a quick overview / review of Animale Animale for Men by Animale. Alright guys, so first up a bit of information about this fragrance. It was released in 1994 by Animale Perfumes. There's other fragrances from the house that there's ones that are Animale for men, and this one is Animale Animale for men. Price wise, this is a 100ml bottle I've got here. Price wise, you can currently pick up a 200ml bottle of Fragrance Net for under $30. So we are talking about very well priced fragrance here, but is it any good? So basically this coming out in 1994 and coming out a couple of years after Thierry Mugler released Angel for women, and a couple of years before Amen was released, which is the fragrance that this one often gets compared to. This is regarded by some as one of the first gourmand fragrances that was released for men, and it has stood the test of time. It's still in production since 1994, and for the price that you can get this for, it is really good value. Now, does it mean it's a great fragrance? In my opinion, it's not a great fragrance, and you have to be a fan of gourmand, and certainly if you like Amen, there's a good chance you'll like this one for a lot cheaper. But if you don't like things like Amen, and I am talking about the original Amen as opposed to the flankers like Pure Malt and Pure Havane, I'm not sure if you are going to like this one. There are a lot of notes in this fragrance, and I'll talk about how it opens up and how it transitions into the mids, and then finally what the dry down's like. Okay, so it opens up a little bit citrusy, and I get citrus and vanilla almost straight away. I think there's lemon listed as a note here. I will list the notes on the screen. There's also a bit of nutmeg, and the citrus lasts for a few seconds, and then it just immediately gets like spicy sweet to my nose, and honey comes in, and what happens is it starts to transition into this mossy, almost amber, like a powdery mossy amber within a minute or two, and it's sweet. So there's always that honey in the background. Now I'm not sure if I'm getting much, of a chocolate vibe from this. As to me, it's almost more like a dry, spicy fruitcake that's been drizzled with honey. And I know that's a weird description, but to me it's a dry gourmand, or like a mossy gourmand. Even though there's no oak moss listed as a note in this formulation, there's definitely that feel, and it's giving it like a dry, earthy sweetness, I guess, and it is pretty pleasant, but there's not much development after that. And it is, for me, this is set apart from Amen and the other flankers like Pure Malt and Pure Havane because of that mossiness. There's the patchouli plays a part, but it's almost like adds almost a mintiness to this rather than an earthiness, and it's probably contributing to the mossiness as well. I pick up a bit of so it's definitely also a bit of powdery amber in the background, and there's some kind of spice here. I know nutmeg is listed here, but it's probably like a combination of nutmeg and cinnamon. So again, it's sweet, it's slightly spicy and mossy dry, and they are the best words I have to describe the fragrance a little bit after the opening, so certainly there is citrus there to brighten up the opening, and it's a pleasant, completely pleasant opening. But it is sweet from the get-go, and you have to like sweet fragrances to like this. Eventually, after it dries down, and I've worn this a few times, I mainly get like a honeyed dry tobacco in the base. I don't get a lot of woods like cedarwood or sandalwood. They're probably there, you know, sort of adding a bit of structure to it all, but for me it really just remains sweet and honey vanilla tobacco. And I guess, you know, it's understandable why this does get compared to the more famous Mugler fragrances. On its own, if you know, can deal with the bottle design, the name of the fragrance, I mean, I honestly don't care. There's a plastic cover on the front there that's made to look like some kind of cracked stone, and then you can see the glass there, and where you can see the juice level. It's very, very cheap, but the juice in this bottle is worth more than the money you pay, I think. Again, you need to like wearing gourmand fragrances. Longevity and projection for this, I get 6 to 7 hours longevity on my skin, and projects only a couple of feet, maybe in the first hour or so. So, you know, performance is pretty good, and I'm not sure I want to smell like this for too long as well. This is certainly also, for me, a cooler weather fragrance, because this would get too cloying in the heat. I would stick to a maximum of 3 sprays. Definitely, that's more than enough for me. And it is nice that you know, when you get whiffs of it throughout the day. And I can't say I've had anyone give me any reactions or feedback about it. It is pleasant enough, but certainly to my nose, not as smooth as something like pure malt or pure Havana. Those ones have almost a moist characteristic to them, whereas this I would more describe as sweet, mossy, dry, and that's not a bad thing. It's just different, and certainly, you know, I don't know how easy it is to get samples or decants of this, but given how much a bottle costs, I guess you could try it, and if you don't like it, always sell the bottle. It's still in production. It's been in production now for over 20 years, and that's Animale Animale by Animale. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.